Are they going to invest in some of the old champions or go to the new ones? Because we are on the B patch update. So Velios was taken down. Jinx was nerfed as well, taken down. But things like Draven got small buffs. So I'm hoping, and Samira as well. So I'm hoping for some more exciting AD carries.
Well, this is the hotness right here. HEcarim actually made it past ban. This does not happen. Everybody else sends him out into the field to graze on grass or whatever horses do. This time around, he gets through the ban phase, and Dignitas is swift to lock him in as their first pick. Response from Evil Geniuses. They'll grab Viego, most likely for the jungle, and Nautilus on support.
I do feel like it's so calculated from Evil Geniuses because of what River does for Dignitas. You know, facilitates really early on and doesn't really rack up big farm numbers. So we'll see how he does, adapting a little bit. Very different from playing Jarvan or Lee Sin, so let's see about it. And they do go to the Jinx, so this is after the little nerfs, the little baby nerfs to some mana on Q and the early range on Q. So it definitely did weaken her lane phase a little bit. But slap a Tahm Kench on there, and she'll be right as rain. Definitely a good match into the Nautilus, as well as giving her that safety for later.
Yep, these immobile hyper carries love having protection in the support role. A Thresh, a Tahm Kench, something like that is guaranteed to help you stay alive a little bit. So bot lane and jungle picked up for Dignitas early on. The same thing going to be done here for Evil Geniuses. We got to see tactical pop-off on the Zeri last game. This time around, it's Danny's turn.
All right, let's see. They definitely have multiple pop-off champions too, with Inspired Viego. To me, the most the play that I remember most when he was announced as MVP from LEC coming over was his pentakill on Viego. So looking for that here because Evil Geniuses have been a really up and down team, as evidenced by sitting here in the middle of the standings. See if they can iron out the consistency issues for this time around. So in that effort, they are going to ban away some of the generic mid laners here because I'm assuming that they are going to make Jojo blind pick first and then save counter pick for top lane for impact. So they just double ban on blue, the safer long range scaling AP champions that he has really preferred. I still have personally liked him most on the Zoe, and that is definitely still up. So not a super high priority champion, but to me, definitely a blue champion, a very successful champion for him. Meanwhile, they're throwing most of their bans towards top side, banning out the Malphite here because they are pretty heavily indexed onto AD.
Akali as well, so that one could go either top or mid, so getting a little bit of value either way there. Victor and Corki, pretty much the entirety of mid lane meta back during lock-in. Things have, of course, shifted since those days, but we're not going to get to see either one here. Now, EG, which one of these solo lanes gets blind picked, and who gets final counter pick of the entire draft? That's the question that we get to answer here. 4 seconds left to go. You're not actually going to lock that in. Come on, give me the real thing. What's it going to be? Tryndamere locked in for Impact.
Impact throwing down the Tryndamere dare on top side of the map. Kalista, Samira, Draven, those are the ones I want to see coming back in. Come on, they're getting small buffs here, there. Please, somebody do it. Somebody crush with some of these aggressive AD carries. Want to see it at some point. Well, not going to be this game, but
yeah, not this
eventually.
One. Already got Jinx Zeri here in this one, so Dignitas, what'll it be? We got Gragas locked in, okay?
Yeah, not a super exciting one. This is the classic disengage on Tryndamere because you can body slam him. The casket is good for disengaging later on into the game too. It's a nullification pick for top lane, so that is not spicy. That is not a top lane Kalista. It is not a top lane Samira type of action. It is a much more standard into Tryndamere. Meanwhile, there's our Ahri that we were talking about earlier. Finally still does get picked up and will be the blind here. Now, Jojo. This kid loves to counterpick and loves to counterpick hard. I want to see it. What's it going to be? Because whenever he has counterpick, he tries to play so aggressively. He'll take really early game oriented runes, try and go for trades very early and often. And when you do have a Viego as your jungler also here for LeBlanc, you can definitely score kills on Ahri pre-6. So we'll see how aggressive he can get off to a start here. Probably call Inspired mid. HEcarim has a possibility of answering because you can go E pretty early on if you want to as level 3 for HEcarim, but most of them tend towards hard farming and double points Q.
I'm excited to see it, man. Evil Genius and Dignitas right next to each other in the standings. This one ought to be a ton of fun.
Welcome back to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. This week's assist hits quick with a kick from Inspired that rattles Team Liquid to the core.
Now they just have to retreat.
Gonna try a nice kick though on the whole squad, and it's gonna be a frontline attempt, but they're putting a bunch of damage. Baron's on the board.
Inspired finding the huge kick there on Hansama. And yes, he had flash shift, but it actually bought them enough time to close the gap.
Welcome back, my friends. It's just about time for Dignitas and Evil Geniuses. I know. The reason you're seeing us instead of the game that EG wants to take over the early game, right? Well, let's see if Dignitas can have an ergonomical mid-jungle duo. Because they won't hurt themselves. See?
Good attempt at using your
I'm hooked on fun.
Good attempt at using your new vocabulary in a sentence, but we'll workshop it.
Well, yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. But we got a death ball running down mid lane here from Evil Geniuses. I love seeing this with Nautiluses as they just run down mid looking for maybe a hook play, that surprise move.
Everybody's doing it now. Core JJ is such a trendsetter.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, Core JJ did it. Core JJ is like the Simpsons, but for players. He's always been there first. He's always the first one making the joke, making the reference. Everybody else just trying to keep up. Dignitas defensive positioning in their own jungle here. They saw EG was up to something. They don't want to be face checking, no brushes, but they will see the red buff is warded at level 1.
Well, they successfully avoided the Nautilus train coming down mid lane, so that's a plus. And anyways, to our point where we were only kind of trolling when we were talking about all these animals during the pause, this ward, to my point of you can invade HEcarim early, is exactly the first step that you need to place if you were going to go with this strategy. So, you know, we like to weave in some valid information with
animals.
Some BS.
Yes, that's the most important part.
Okay.
You gotta have a little bit of both.
Ooh, the next level of the mind games, though, they sweep out the ward as it spawns and don't have HEcarim starting on bottom side. So it is going to be pathing away from top side here for River towards the bottom half of this map. Another ward, though, also nicely timed and placed here up by Raptor Camp from Red Team. So thank you very much, observers. It just goes so EG also want to invest very early in their mid jungle, and trying to have this be a successful outcome for them is extremely important. Inspired actually going for a very early red Raptors cross right through the minions, through vision.
Oh, he doesn't even care.
It's so, HEcarim is so vulnerable to these first clear invades. Super glad that we actually had that pause and got to set it up. And Danny's gonna force to trade summoner spells here, but the re-engage.
Yeah, they're not done yet, but they're still level 1 fighting back against level 2. So re-engage or not, you're never gonna win that. Inspired taking away the enemy chicken camp. Blue and River both moving over to try to stop it, but the chickens are gone.
The chickens, Flowers, not just farm animals. You see, really intelligent point, my friend. That's why, that's why you're the best, baby. Honestly, the trade as well on bottom side, so advantage for Dig. It was just the exhaust from Biofrost, and that early force gets double summoner spells out of the Zeri. So this might actually complicate things for the way EG wanted to play bottom side of the map, since Inspired did go for the big early cross there. River knows that Inspired has skipped his Krugs up on the top side of the map and is in blue quadrant right now. So he knows that Viego is very close to this bottom side, but since his bottom lane is pushing, his bottom lane got the summoner spell advantage, he can still go for this bottom crab, and he goes for it, grabs it before taking his own red buff because of the possibilities of the repeats from Viego.
Yeah, I like the fact that Inspired went for the play that he did, you know, cutting it off, making so River wouldn't be able to steal back the EG red buff if Inspired was able to secure the Dignitas red buff. But hey, bottom lane priority wins you some little prizes here down early on fighting for those crabs, and that means that they're doing just fine. Now, looking back over into the 2v2, Biofrost eats some damage. Danny and Vulcan level 3 now, so they're caught up in levels with Dignitas that had that early level 2 spike on them. And things are right back to even. Right back to a stalemate here in this bottom lane matchup. Meanwhile, top side, Impact getting body slammed a little bit.
Also, the stalemate does have a horsey waiting around in case there was any aggressive play from EG. This is something that junglers can all learn from is when you're going to recall, you can take an extra second or 2 seconds to hover the lane of the side that you are recalling on, just in case there is an aggressive play, especially if it is a lane that has a Nautilus in it, and there's always possibility for aggressive maneuvers. But because EG lost their summer spells early, they didn't want to push their luck there, and there will be no action. River getting off his first recall, no problem. So should be able to correct his second clear here. No problems really encountered, since he did get the bottom scuttle crab as well. Kind of shores that one up. And it's going to stay at a fairly marginal lead for Inspired. But of course, because he full cleared the Raptor camp, you want to keep the timers of these small camps for the second respawn.
Yep.
He will take Raptors number 2, and if he wants to, can set up with Vulcan. I would love to see an aggressive play to set up there and wait for River to come over, but they don't go for it, and they're actually going to make the play on bottom side first.
Yep, there's definitely plays to be had here with Vulcan and Inspired coming around for the 3v2. Vulcan will lead the charge. Inspired throws down that hallowed mist, and Neo is your target. He tries to flash away, but he ain't going home except in a body bag. First blood over to Danny, and Biofrost, the thick skin, it protects him for only a minute, and Inspired's gonna get another one.
That goes to show Inspired playing much more for the team. Instead of get enemy jungle behind and wait for the surprise play in the brush there and get 1 kill on HEcarim, get your bottom lane ahead. They make the pass, and even though they pop the Scryer's Bloom, so you know, oh, they just popped the Scryers, they're up there right now, because they have this timing lead, as we can see in the replay, they're able to just force it down here on Neo and Bao. And Neo and Bao actually, even with the Scryer's Bloom popped, did not even start backing up. They really wanted to push. Obviously, since Tahm Kench was reworked, you don't have access to your safety, your ultimate that you're used to in previous iterations in lane of the ultimate, and so that's why Vulcan goes immediately flashing onto Jinx, and they're able to pick up the kill. Really, really turning around this bottom lane off of the deficit of summoners they were working off of early, so huge props to Inspired for the way he's played this early game.
Yeah.
Went for the chickens that we wanted, got 2 camps, 2 servings of chicken, as well as 1 serving of bottom lane.
Man, I haven't had lunch yet. That's actually making me so hungry thinking about all these chickens
Is
now.
it technically 2 servings of bottom lane also, since they got both kills, or is it just
It's
one?
just a big meal.
Okay.
Yep, it's just a big meal because you got both of them. If it was 2 separate plays, yeah, then it's 2 separate.
Okay.
This is definitely just a big meal. But down here in bottom lane, it's still a pretty sizable CS lead for the Dignitas 2-man squad. They're going to be up just shy of 2 waves here. That's what they bought themselves with this bot lane control up except for, that one gank that came through.
Smite.
Inspired, ready to steal away the blue, and he's got the smite. He gets it. Level 6 versus level 5. River can't go anywhere near him.
Yeah, Inspired with the ultimate could definitely go for any duels. His top lane is recalling though, so Impact's going back for the early extra AD, and he won't go for anything after the blue. Honestly though, Inspired is just playing this early game so well. He's definitely been the consummate example of a carnivore jungler. Taking away opponent camps and affecting opponent lanes. So it's really the best of both worlds. When you get an aggressive setup like this and you have a successful early invade, you want to turn that into a domino effect and chain it. And because you're taking away, River's camps, you're also not getting out-farmed. You are the one up in CS and having more priority on your lanes.
Yeah, he's about 3 camps up on River. River now level 6, though, so at least the HEcarim's got a little bit more ganking power here.
LeBlanc with a flash, though. Like,
yeah.
you would have to, 360 no-scope the charm.
All right.
See the charm.
Let's see it. River goes over the wall. Jojo,
Okay.
he's stuck in a bad spot. Nicely done. Somebody get me the wub-wub montage music. There's your 360 no-scope.
I guess he just flashes the charm, and River's great. Flashes down, I'm going in, and they get Jojo flowers. Well done to them. LeBlanc to me is one of the most frustrating champs in mid to gank, but River and Blue pull it off so nicely there. The AoE of HEcarim is very, very effective versus LeBlanc, because most champs get really annoyed when the passive is popped, and she's invisible, splitting out
Right.
the phone. But HEcarim, you just AoE down right after, so very nicely done. And let's go through the steps again. Charm used to force the flash early, and since the W is already used there, Jojo tries to sweep it out, but beautiful from River. He gets the ult fear perfectly and ease him right back into blue. who has just barely enough mana as well, and they cleanly pull off that kill onto Jojo, onto LeBlanc. So nice stuff there from Dig to try and get back into this game because they really need it. When jungle advantage is that big, if you don't do something to get mid lane advantage back, then you lose the whole map. And that's why we highlighted mid jungle for this game being so big.
Well, Evil Geniuses still commands about a 1,500 gold lead over their opponents, despite the fact that Jojo fell. Up here in top lane, Impact doesn't have a lot of HP to work with, but tryndamere still has plenty of sustain in the kit. Has a big farm advantage over FakeGod's Gragas, about plus 20 up here.
Every time camera goes over to Gragas right when he's burping, it's just excessive, man. Come on. You don't have to do it every time. There should be something in the coding where it's like, okay, a third of the time, he pops it
It's
out.
just a random, it's RNG burp.
Yeah, RNG burp.
That's the next evolution of League of Legends, RNG burps for Gragas players.
Yeah.
FakeGod gets a quick body slam into him there just to try to trade, try to still keep this lane state pretty good for himself. But 90 versus 70 in farm, Impact's chilling, just pops the heal yet again.
Yeah.
That resourceless heal makes it so difficult to force tryndamere out of lane.
Yeah, and again, this is just the nullification pick there for FakeGod. You try and stack up your health with your grasp. Maybe you can make a play if mid and jungle come to roam, but other than that, focus on the CS. Dragon is picked up here for EG. Because of the bottom side push there, and Inspire is easily able to take that one away as River goes to the top side. So EG are just kind of cruising, Flower.
Yeah.
And this is a team that needs to start cruising, with the way that they started Lock-in, undefeated, all the way up to the finals. There was so much hype building behind this team. And I think rightfully so. They combine the excitement of these NA rookie players with lots of talent with some veterans of the scene and bringing over the LEC MVP in Inspired. And we're able to have such a strong start, but not the same story throughout the regular season in spring thus far. So as we head towards playoffs, this is what we're looking for them. More of this type of dominance, this early jungle pathing, this more carnivore style, really trying to eke out leads that also don't have to do just with kills, have to do with strategy and how they're opening it up. Now Vulcan, though, level 6 Flowers. Let's see what he can do in linking up with Inspired.
All right, can Vulcan lead the way? Inspired right behind him as Vulcan steps forward to clear out these wards. They don't want to give away that they got extra man in the area. Vulcan, he'll clear out that control ward now. They have seen Inspired, so Blue is aware that he's hanging out nearby. It's just going to be a Herald dropped immediately. They're not trying to get maximum value out of this, destroy the whole turret, get down to the last 2 plates. They just want to get the guaranteed usage, so that'll get summoned up here. Unfortunately, Shelly gets a little bit distracted, so they lose about half HP before she gets the charge. Still 2 full plates, and that will be it. Jojo jumping underneath the turret there to grab a bit of extra damage onto Blue, and with that control over mid, now Evil Geniuses is bringing the party bot side.
Yeah,
Wow. Oh
Impact
boy.
has his own party.
We got multiple parties breaking out now, but it doesn't look like River's having any fun, and none of them. He's going to be taken very low, but Biofrost is able to keep him alive. Now he's got to be careful as Jojo's ready to collapse, but EG don't find a single kill. Beautifully done from Biofrost. Nice save.
Yeah, that was close there. Vulcan making Nautilus look pretty slim there as he dodges back with the fancy footwork as well, and EG avoid a pretty disastrous possibility of a turnaround there. And we do see the power of the Tahm Kench ultimate. Big save from Biofrost there onto River. Pops him back out with the big shield, and they can try and have the return damage. Meanwhile, back at party number 1, topside party, Impact taking away the blue buff after pushing in the Gragas, really trying to get the most in payment out of this counter pick.
Oh yeah, item completed, Frozen Heart there for FakeGod's Gragas. Going to be slowing down that tryndamere a little bit, very effective against Viego and Zeri as well to try to just stop that attack speed a little bit. So that'll be very useful for everybody here on the team. Also has that tier at 250 out of 360, so about 2/3 of the way towards having that fully stacked, so he'll be able to create his Fimbulwinter with it.
Yeah.
Vulcan just trying to establish some vision down here in the bottom side. It is 2 minutes until the next Drake of the game. Remember, this is a very slow Drake pacing overall. We're almost 14 minutes in, and there's only that first one taken. Meanwhile, Danny just continues pushing up, farming up, and this is another important distinction between the AD carries. It's that single item power spike, that Trinity Force for the Zeri, up against a hyper carry Jinx that really wants to hit 3 items.
Yeah, We'll see what Danny can do with it. I like your focus, too, on the Frozen Heart, because this has long been one of the strongest tank items in the game. It is rarely bought because it has mana on it, and people don't like spending money on mana, especially because most tanks are, you know, junglers or top laners that aren't going to get the biggest of value. But Gragas is the perfect person to hold a Frozen Heart because you go the Fimbulwinter build now too, and you get value out of also the mana. Plus, even considering that, you know, the attack speed aura is incredible into teams like this that are all attack speed based, because the AP threat on the opponent team is a LeBlanc. That LeBlanc is not doing damage into a Gragas.
No, she's not trying to burst the big.
Not if the LeBlanc knows what she's doing. She's trying to assassinate your backline. So you are all dealing with auto attack, straight AD damage, basically, as FakeGod. So it's just like dream scenario for this item. And even though he is getting blasted up here, to say the least, by impact, it's a very efficient item. So even though you have less gold, you're getting more value out of the gold that you're using. And hopefully he'll be a big impact for the team fights, and we'll be able to make use of his engaged properties.
I mean, that 20 CS advantage that Impact had earned himself that we mentioned a couple of minutes ago hasn't really grown any further. FakeGod's doing a good job stabilizing that a little bit. Impact still continuing to put damage into this tier 1 turret, though with the plates fully gone, it's only a matter of time before Impact's able to take this one out. FakeGod can just not clear the minions away swiftly enough. But the second Drake of the game is live. EG still has a 2,000 gold lead. Dignitas has River hanging out down here around bottom, seeing if maybe there's a play to be made. But once they see that Hallowed Mist wrap around, that means that Inspired is here too, and Dignitas must be careful.
And you can tell always by the minimap, because you have Tryndamere running down early, because Tryndamere always runs Flash Ghost for the extra mobility for later on. So if he starts coming down, then EG will contest. If he heads right back up to top lane, then they're going to give it up. So just watching his movement, EG have made the call, hey, we are going to give this up. Impact, go ahead and push. Maybe you can finish off that tower with a Demolish proc, and they want to get some money that way. Basically, as a Tryndamere, you kind of ignore the Gragas, you get your leads elsewhere. You saw him going for the invade. He gets the blue buff. He got deep wards down in the HEcarim jungle. He gets Demolish procs off on the turret, gets as much CS as he can. And EG making a good call, in my opinion here, not to rotate him down, and just to take top side instead. You get the tower bonus gold for yourself, for your Tryndamere. This is first turret bonus, as well as the entire thing solo taken by Impact. So makes Tryndamere a very rich boy, and very capable of split pushing. Plus, Inspired, while he's doing that, is able to pick up the Rift Herald.
Yep, I like how long Evil Geniuses postured around the dragon, making Dignitas guess whether or not they were going to try to contest them, fight them for it. Like how you said Tryndamere acted like maybe he was going to run down for a minute.
And went into the fog of war.
Yeah, it was one of those things to buy a little bit more time, guarantee that they would be able to trade Rift Herald for Drake instead. That was not the ulti that FakeGod wanted it to be, and now Impact is going for the dive. He's already got the Ghost on, he's grabbing the crits, FakeGod trying to outplay him and kite him. Impact will die to the turret 1-for-1 in the top lane.
Both flashes used there in that as well. You can tell Impact is like, you are not getting away with that ultimate. You throw an ult into the dirt against me, you are gonna die.
An insult, a personal insult. You gotta punish that. Impact will take the kill, but FakeGod gets one back. Let's take another look at it.
All right, here's the replay. We're gonna go with prompt kill. Gets the heal off it. Blast cone over the top. Oh no, Tryndamere's coming for my face, but I've got Frozen Heart, so I don't take too much damage. There is the ultimate that he whiffs because of his own body slam back there on Impact, and then that was a pretty nice move where he got his grasp proc off before the flash, and then trying to work around the tower forces Impact to not only ult and die for it too, but also use his own flash to get into range. And you can see the effect of the early armor stacking as well as the attack speed reduction really did mean that you know, Impact not able to get the kill and get out is at least a trade.
All right, Danny had
1v2
ulti there, putting some bullets into Biofrost as they try to disengage. Dignitas' bottom lane actually getting the worst end of that as Danny piles some more autos at the very back part of the trade. One thing I do want to mention about the Gragas versus Tryndamere thing in the top side is it looked like FakeGod put the ulti down to try to predict that Impact would spin there, but it didn't happen. And now we got River looking to make a play down here. Danny's going to be caught out first. Danny's already down. Kill credit over to Jinx. You can't ask for anything more from Dignitas. That was perfect how they did it. And now River's going to run after Vulcan and see if he can find any more. The problem is, Jojo and Impact are ready and waiting. Dignitas wants to continue the fight as Vulcan has to disengage. But now, can Impact continue to chase or find a kill? No. Once more, it's Biofrost, keeping River safe.
Okay, meanwhile, look at the mini-map because Jinx got alone time pushing in on the bottom tower here, so Neo gets a bunch of minions pushed up as well, and he's actually going to stick around since Bio's coming for... He doesn't have ults, so it's not as much safety as you would think, and they're going to try and punish here. Jojo teleports in. No ult on TK.
Oh, Neo, you got to try to get out of there, buddy, and he will escape for now. Counterattack goes through. Biofrost not going to find the knock-up as Jojopyun was able to hold his ground. But now the stasis goes out for the Dignitas support. Jojo trying to jump back in there and grab a little bit more damage. Barely gets himself back away. Inspired gets the first kill, and he's going in for the resets. Shoots off a zap, but it hits a minion, and we will not get any more. Dignitas back out, but they lose their AD carry.
That was a really good flash play from Inspired. He can tell that Neo is looking at the LeBlanc, trying to kill Jojo with his auto attacks there, tries to force out the LeBlanc, and so he instantly punishes. If you get that close, flashes in, Inspired gets the kill onto Jinx. Pretty good retake there. As well, Jojo kind of pushing it to the limits. Had pretty good clone micro as he moves up, forcing the extra threat onto Tahm Kench and allowing EG to get another one. I mean, this is over 4,000 gold lead for themselves, and it started from minute 3 with the Raptor steal away, the crossover there from Inspired, really good control from him all game long. There have been some games where where he has made mistakes, where he's been lacking, but this one here is really looking like a very, very clean one from him and all of EG.
And we're seeing so much of what you were talking about with stealing away those camps, making sure you're staying on top of the timers. River is not farming well. You said this is not the guy that you have him be your jungler, hoping he's going to power farm and hard carry that way. He likes to get involved. He likes to make early moves, and he's down 35 CS versus Inspired's Viego right now.
Yeah, and it's consequences of, yes, Inspired playing early well, but also Impact. Remember, in this Gragas matchup, the tryndamere gets to go wherever he wants. So Impact taking away the Gromp and Blue off of this top side also hits River's farm. And so this is one of the reasons why in Champ Select, we were talking about EG feeling confident giving over the HEcarim, even with all the priority teams have put on it recently. But here's Blue after he takes the tower.
Oh, but can he get away? Jojo jumps in, says, nah, there's no reason to allow that. Inspired's the one to pick up the kill. Yoink! Steals that one away. Thank you very much. 3-0 and 1
Kill
Viego.
secure!
And he's got Guardian Angel as his second item. He wants to continue to dive into the fight with utter impunity. No fear whatsoever. He's ready to get the resets and that kill on the mid laner and the bottom side. That's Drake over to EG. Nice attempt from Neo.
Yeah. Inspired may have pentakills in his eyes.
Ooh.
Honestly, so whenever you see that too, when a solo laner is about to finish off a solo kill, I always do advocate for getting an assist for your team.
True.
Because an assisted kill is worth 50% more gold for the team overall. Yes, now the majority does go into Inspired instead of into Jojo, but it's still a team
Don't
play.
worry, but I use the exact same excuse when I KS.
I'm pretty sure everybody does.
Yeah.
Every time anyone KS's, they're like, I just
KSing for the team. It's for the team.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Got to support the
Then
team.
they're like, sir, you're Soraka.
Got to support the team.
You can just
Come
heal
on.
me for an assist.
I love doing it still. It's fantastic. But you got Impact pushing down in bottom lane. Now the CS difference is even more extreme. 60 farm over his opponent. FakeGod continuing to try to deal with this. He'll clear out that wave. Kobe, what's the plan here for Dignitas? Because that gold lead that you said was 4K, it's now 5K. Things keep slipping away and they aren't slowing down.
Well, they're going to need to have one of those flash plays that you pick the Gragas for. The time of nullifying and the time of just getting pushed in and slowly losing should be over.
Okay.
Gragas mid-game, try to make some team plays maybe. Maybe you can force something onto Danny. It's going to be really rough, though, because his Ghost Flash is about to be available again. Flash coming off a cooldown here, so he's going to have a lot of mobility, and you're going to have to insta him, which just puts more emphasis on this dig play where they've got to pull out a crazy good flash engage from FakeGod, followed up by the HEcarim Ahri, or else it is going to continue to snowball in Evil Genius's favor. There is no panic in any member of EG right now.
Yeah, they're sitting pretty. And of course, Zeri's one of those AD carries that's even harder than most others to be able to burst down like that. She likes to build health. She's very fast as well. You can also see the overheal shield on Danny. So he's got 2 HP items plus that shield. This is not an easy to kill target. That's 2,500 health you got to work through.
Yeah.
And as long as they're grouped up like this, as long as they're playing as 5, I gotta give the edge to EG in being able to protect him like that. River's gonna step forward. He'll lead Dignitas into this top side, see if maybe they can find anything. Just throw down a little bit of vision of their own. Jojo goes over the wall there, goes right back to his origin point. That is a very small amount of mist from Inspired, but he's still able to hide inside of it. Little puddle of mist or not.
I'm just not as scared as usual. When it's just this little patch,
little
you're like,
puddle.
I'm pretty sure I know where he is.
He's probably in the puddle. It looks so spooky, like it's menacing when it crawls around the wall. You're like, oh no, Viego's coming, dude, run. But then when it's just a puddle, it's like, don't step in that.
It's like when one of those little mom and pop haunted houses open up during Halloween. That's just by the side of the road, and it's like one room with everything
like
stuck
a plastic
into it.
spider or
No,
something.
come on! I swear, it's really scary. It's really scary. I promise.
It's like the one gag the whole time is you just open the door and like a skeleton pops out. Goes,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of scary stuff on this map right now for Dignitas as Evil Geniuses controls everything. Look at the way the vision looks. It is so dark on the map for the side of Dig. They are trying to sit down vision. They're trying to move these vision lines forward, but Evil Geniuses is not only sweeping all theirs away, they're setting up vision of their own and making it risky for Dig to try to step forward and stop it, because as soon as you try, Evil Geniuses is ready to go on the attack. Neo's gonna be killed at the very start, and this one's already over. Evil Geniuses will slam the rest of the fight with no AD carry on Dignitas. More damage popping off as Inspired looks to get more resets. Will not find those, but top laner and AD carry down. All 5 men still alive. EG's going to Baron.
Did you see the panic there in Neo's eyes? He was like, please, where do I go? Where is safe? Ends up going into the rest of the EG members that are flanking from the other side. Oh my goodness. We knew it was pretty much inevitable here, Flowers, but that's what destruction looks like, and that is going to for sure be EG, Baron, EG, mid-second turret as well, and EG can reset for Dragon number 3.
EG is just slamming this game. Let's watch it
Look
again
at
as
this.
Dignitas just wanted to clear a ward, but not here. Not this ward.
Yeah, Neo knows, or River knows, I'm not going to auto-attack that. They're going to jump over. Then Vulcan flashes over, gets the hook onto Neo. Then he flashes over into Inspired Sword and the flanking LeBlanc because there is nowhere safe for him to go. Honestly, EG were just waiting for that. Yeah, they're all smiles
Yeah,
because
I love the grin.
they're kind of playing with their food, you know, and Inspired starts it out with the stun. Vulcan flashes over the wall. Danny just jumps forward on the Zeri instant ult, blasting him from the other side. It is brutal.
And with the control they have right now, Evil Geniuses know that Dignitas would not dare try to come challenge for this dragon, so Inspired's going to pick that one up for free. Meanwhile, waves are getting pushed, mid and bot. It's Impact on split duty, everybody else hanging out mid. 2 minutes of Baron to go. I'm expecting this one to deal a lot of damage.
I'm pretty sure, as we were talking before that play happened, it was a 5K gold lead. And it is instantly now a 9.3K gold lead, and the tower is going to continue to fall as EG push in with this Baron buff. Easy 4-1 for them. You can see LeBlanc already pushing up the mid lane as well, and now rotating one move up. So EG that just took the bottom turret, rotate towards mid. LeBlanc that just pushed up mid, rotate towards top, and you continue your 2 lanes of pressure.
Exactly, and they want to make sure they're pressuring that top side because that's now the only remaining lane with a tier 2 turret in it. When you have this much of a lead, that's just going to be free gold. There's no way Dignitas want to try to stand and protect that one. Vulcan goes for a dredge line, but will not hit any of the members of Dignitas. So instead, they'll just say, all right, no big deal. They're going fishing. If they hit something, great. If not, no problem. March it up to top. That tier 2 turret is gone. And now they've got to hit the base itself. It is a 3-pronged assault. They've got a 3-man squad up top. They've got Inspired in mid. They've got Impact at bot. FakeGod is still trying to deal with him, and it's going about as well as you'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, it's Hullbreaker for Impact. He's also got Demolish. honestly, he's not even worried seeing the HEcarim charge right at him.
Yeah.
Great, it's another tank. Oh.
Ooh, scary
Skeleton.
stuff. Ooh, spooky, scary skeleton. But that's about it. Yeah, he just walks back, says, all right, dude, I'll take 100 damage and heal it off on the next wave. No big deal. Danny keeps shoving up the mid lane wave as Jojo's going to crash another one into the tier 3 turret in top side. Evil Genius is deciding to back off now. They've got 20 seconds left in the Baron. They will not be able to accomplish anything else with that one, but they kept Dignitas stuck in their base the whole time. The gold lead is 11,000, and that Baron ended up getting them about plus 4K, like you were saying.
So these are the types of games where I lobby for the LCS having challenge mechanics or like, yes. And hear me out. Okay. So a challenge mechanic will be one of the players from the winning team can put up, a wager basically, a certain amount of their advantage, just to make it more interesting and challenge, 1, 2, 3 players to come to a duel so that we can have some incitement injected into us, because right now they're gonna, kind of snowball.
You want 1v1 at Baron Pit?
Yes, and for stakes, for wagering extra stakes. I haven't figured out what the winning team gets for it because they're kind of wagering extra big comeback mechanics. There's got to be like something
Give
outside,
them that inting sled from
game,
Nexus
maybe.
Blitz. The prize that makes you lose.
So
that's even better.
You can't actually have them gaining something in game because they already have such a big advantage. So it would probably be something out of game that the opponent team would like have to pay later or something. I don't know,
dude. I say just give them that sled because they say it's a prize, but every time I've ever played it, everybody just dies. It's an int wagon. As Jojo goes over.
Oh my God! So you want a bunch of poisoned apples all over the rift to pop up.
Yep.
You're like, hey, you want to jump in the sled?
I want poison apples. I want poison apple seeds. I want to grow a poison apple orchard. We'll keep it interesting. But things are currently very interesting, and I do not mean that in a good way for the side of Dignitas, as their base is just getting destroyed, man. Impact's already cracked things open up there in the top lane. The bottom lane tier 3 turret is nearly dead from his work earlier. Look at that thing. It's only got 25%. Mid lane tier 3 turret's only at half. Jojo keeps doing these double hops over the wall and makes everybody have to just flinch real fast. Impact's now on to the Nexus turrets themselves. FakeGod's trying to defend, but he can't do anything against the tryndamere. The nullification has failed, and EG keeps the pressure on. Impact looking for another demolish as River looks for an engage. They know they're just bleeding out, and they got to make some sort of a move sometime, but that move didn't work.
True. What? A very succinct way to put it.
Didn't work.
I agree. Very factual there. We saw one member of Dig was like, you know what? Screw this. Let's go to Valhalla. Let's lead our way right into
Jinx.
And everyone else was like, I'm good.
You're like,
we're going to try.
Did he just go in?
Well, yeah, we'll just clear out these minions. But they did successfully get maybe 30% of Impact's HP bar, which is something.
It's a better prize than an inting sled.
Yeah.
See?
True.
We're already there. They're on top of it. They're on top of it.
Flush of death.
No. Well, Jojo is on top of it too.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. Jojo camping the brush as LeBlanc should do. EG just doing everything according to the book. Another Baron is about to pop up, so just pick up your
soul.
Yeah, pick up your soul. Yeah, whatever. Those like for the EG. It's like, every day, bro.
Yeah, this is no worry for them. All right, pick up that Infernal Soul. Come on, EG, stop toying around with him. You got a 12,000 gold lead. You got an Infernal Soul on Viego and LeBlanc. This one should be
They're
done.
not going for the Baron. All right, they're gonna push inside, make it a little exciting for us.
All right, Neo's trying to get away as the Nautilus ulti tracks him down and blows him up. No way out. Dignitas have lost their AD carry first yet again, as Evil Geniuses are now completing their victory march. The Nexus turrets will be the target. FakeGod steps forward. Danny has to disengage and get himself back, but now he's ready to continue the assault. Impact spins on over to rejoin the rest of the team, and the first Nexus turret is down. Jojo's gonna jump in, finds about half of Blue's health bar, and then gets himself back away. Impact's in the middle with the Endless Rage locked and loaded and ready to go. Vulcan walks into the fountain, doesn't matter a whole lot. The Nexus goes down, and EG get their win.
They certainly do, and they savored that one for a while here. What a stomp. Really, really liked the opening game plan from EG. Inspired played it really well, aggressively punishing this HEcarim pick, invade after invade. Impact on the top side, taking care of business in the Tryndamere versus Gragas matchup. Also able to control the objectives for themselves. Dragons from the very early stages here. Well done by the Evil Geniuses squad. They really wanted to clean up this mid-stage as we head towards playoffs and start to slam teams so they can be more aggressive and they could be more fearful towards all the other teams in the LCS as we head to playoffs. And this is definitely going to be step number one in that evil plan.
I mean, they controlled the game from start to finish. I mean, you even said it's like, hey, from 3 minutes into the game, they were just on top of it. There were a couple of bright spots for Dignitas, which were both Tahm Kench saves on the jungler as River was in a bad spot. Like, good job for Biofrost being able to get him out of trouble there. But when the highlight of the game is, well, this dude didn't die this one time, you know that the game didn't go your way.
True. You can't win by just not dying.
Yes, not being dead is not a win condition in and of itself. That's
True.
That's the lesson that we learned here today, my friend.
Honestly, though, yeah, really happy to see, Inspired especially popping off there for EG. It's incredibly excited to see the trajectory as they continue towards playoffs, too, because this is a very important win. If we remember the standings here for DIG, right neck and neck with them. Now they're moved up to tied.
Well, with that win, Evil Genius are going to even out their scoreline.